What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 6 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Tiktaq'to Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, Kairos Fate Weaver has been defeated. Fate Weaver's crevasse has fallen, and between the episodes I did take out the Lost Palace, and because it was kind of a garbage battle, and admittedly, full disclosure, I got lazy and auto-resolved it anyway. So yeah. At the very least, the flyers didn't get damaged by it, and only the Kulkans did, and we'll pop them into another army rather soon anyway, so should be good. Anyway, with Kairos destroyed, we have reached rank 12, and we'll be going after the Slaanesh under Abyssa here. Probably losing some units to that seduction, which actually shouldn't have any kind of effect against the incorruptible Lizardmen, but hey, what do I know? But anyway, let's level up Tiktaq'to. We've been waiting for that rank 12, and aerial superiority is what he's been demonstrating, and it just got even more superior. We're also going to grab Drop Sphere of Tepok upgraded, giving us an additional 20% campaign movement range, speed addition for Tiktaq himself, a stronger Sphere of Tepok, a bomb drop for Tiktaq'to, and most importantly, flanking immunity for both Pterodon and Ripterdactyl riders, and judging by the fact that the other flying units are here, probably for them as well, which is quite nice. Oh, it's actually missing one though. It's missing the big boy, or one of the big boys. I see the Matkuta Riders, Carsonics, and Perchayaras, but I don't see there's another big tier 5 unit that's in here, but oh well. Here I guess we'll go for Ares' Finest. Yeah, let's go for Ares' Finest. The missile strength plus 10 for Pterodon Riders, and then we'll bump that up even further as we go. Those Fire Leech Bolas are gonna be real nasty eventually. I mean, they already are. Anyway, Chameleon. Oh, you share a name with a certain community canon legendary lord, don't you? But that's alright. Later on, we'll probably get the real Chameleon in here as well. Anyway, gonna bring the Ancient Ripterdactyl and the Coatl to Mr. Tiktaq, and then you, Quetgar, assuming there's nothing to build here, are gonna proceed southward to Zlatlan, and all the way back around to Tlaqua, because we'll need to be upgrading it to tier 4. There's probably some good stuff that is associated with that, including the Geomantic Web. Anyway, Zlatlan, yes to the Ancient Harbor, and to the Floating Gardens, and to the Gem Mineshaft, like so. And you know what? Look, this is some really cool stuff. I'd really love the plus 20 armor. It would be a significant upgrade to a lot of our armies. And I know I said this, I was going to put this to a vote, but it would just bother me using a Chaos artifact as the Lizardman. Every single time I used it, even if the vote went for it, it would just bother the heck out of me every time. So we're just going to delete it. I can't do it, guys. It's wrong, especially for the Lizards. Any other faction would make more sense than the Lizards doing it. Yeah, any other vampires also wouldn't make that much sense, but just generally speaking, well, the vampires would make more sense than the lizards, even if it would still make pretty much no sense whatsoever. But any other faction, yeah, no, destroy the location. 20 armor. It would be so nice, but what can you do? Alright, well, at least we won't have to deal with the chaos corruption here, but sad. 20 armor. Anyway, not a big deal, or at least I hope not. What do we have on the Skink Chief here? Ooh, we got some stuff here. Diplomatic relations plus 5 with all lizards might help us. Ooh, campaign movement range. It's nice as well. Casualties. You know what? Considering our distance here, assuming Abyssa doesn't attack the Lost Palace, which I'm pretty sure she'll be too afraid to do,
none but Slaanesh may
we probably can't reach Volulltrax in 2 turns, so it's probably going to be beneficial to get the attrition reduction. That way we can move through attrition territory for the turn, and then wipe out Volulltrax the turn after that. At least that's the plan. As to whether it works out remains to be seen, but we'll see shortly. Otherwise, I believe we're good, so we can skip, and then the turn. I'm a bit concerned about the public order being horrendous here, and the fact that this place can't really regenerate its troops. I'd actually have to send Ezozyme back there before it, well, we'll see, we'll see. For now, it's on the turn. And I hope I haven't forgotten anything, but if I have, it's too late to cry about it now. Hopefully the, I want to say Lizardmen, hopefully the High Elves retake Dawn's Light without us having to do it for them. Admittedly, I'd be perfectly willing to, you know, allow them to pay us for the privilege, and... They're actually going to attack, and what is this? They're going to steal one of the Blessed Pterodon Riders, which is a little bit annoying. I really wasn't expecting them to do this. Now, we just gotta make sure that we sort of send the Blessed Pterodon Riders away. 204 speed, eh? Alright, but otherwise the enemy don't have too much air, though we have Tiktaq'to coming in as a reinforcement here. Alright, fair enough. We're gonna fight it, no choice. Alrighty, here we go. I was most definitely not expecting the Slaanesh to actually dare to attack us, but, well, let's see what they can do. Now, we're going to use our Reprodactyl Summon immediately this time around, simply because we're going to need them for a very particular purpose. We need them to chase the stolen, the seduced, and blessed Pterodon Riders around the map, but not actually kill them. So they're just going to be chasing them around and keeping them out of the fight so that we don't damage them. Otherwise, this little army is moving to the side of the map, the very side close to the edge of the map, because we're going to just use them as a distraction. We brought most of the enemy army here, and then we're just going to flee off the battlefield. We just had to buy a little bit of time for a Tic-Tac to arrive on the battlefield and distract the enemy army so that we could keep one ground-based unit, the horned ones, on the field, so that we don't start the you lose countdown. I'm actually not entirely sure whether the you lose countdown actually works if the reinforcements have some ground elements to that, but, you know, why risk it? Not a situation I've ever encountered before. Anyway, the distraction has worked. The Reprodactyls are still giving chase to the Blessed Pterodon Riders, and now it's time for Tic-Tac to join the fray. And with all of his flyers. And there we go, we're going to close the distance with our first unit of Demonettes of Slaanesh, with Tic-Tac and his first Ancient Reprodactyl alike. And they should be able to take care of them rather quick, and even if they're not, the Fire Leech Ebolas and the Javelineers fly overhead and do plenty more damage as they do. Lovely. First of the unit of Demonettes is down to about half their HP and still taking damage, while our Air Forces starts to menace the rest of the enemy unit. Like the Orcs before them, the Slaaneshi forces have very little in the way of anti-air, no real range to rely upon, and, outside of a mob of Furies, we counter them extremely well with Tiktaq'to's army. Really, the only threat is the seduction of units, which admittedly is annoying, but, you know, we should have the Slaaneshi well in hand just fine. Alright, Kulkin are just sort of running around. I love how speedy the little birdies are. Definitely, once again, definitely going to build an army around the our feathered friends here. And maybe combine them with some bird units from from another army. All the world will learn to fear the emu tide. Alrighty, just like real life. Anyway, the enemies have closed the distance, and that means our Reprodactyls have come down upon the enemies as well, as while the Slaaneshi are dangerous and being frenzied damage dealers with low HP and such, kind of like our own Reprodactyls. That means we can give as good as we take, and should be able to tear through them reasonably quickly. And of course we still have Fire Leech Bola and others support, and I do believe our Pterodon Riders with Javelins have already cleared out the enemy lord. In fact, the entire enemy army is in the process of melting away. We are still giving chase with our summoned unit to that stolen or seduced unit. And that means we should recover it at full HP. The plan worked is what I'm getting at. Alrighty, and it looks like the demonettes are all melted and the mortal units are beginning their escape, though how well they can do so with all of these flyers on field remains to be seen. There we get, without units on the ground, the enemy is for... What? What do you mean without units on the ground? Oh, because the last unit on the battlefield was the Blessed Pterodon Riders with Fire Leech Bolas. Fair enough, fair enough. There we go. A lovely battle, and man, certainly getting a lot of variety in terms of foes in this campaign. I absolutely love it. Alrighty, there we go. We were able to completely preserve the Blessed Pterodon Riders with Fire Leech Bolas by just, distracting them. And otherwise, well, by and large, destroy this army. I'm still kind of shocked, and in fact, no kinda about it. Completely shocked that they actually decided to attack us, but, pleasantly so. Good job to Abyssa. This also completes our quest for the High Elves, so a little bit of allegiance for that. Now, this wasn't a named unit of Fire Leech Bolas, was it? Huh. I hope it wasn't. Does a stolen unit retain its name? I don't know. Let's go for ritual purification regardless. And, do we get I don't see a trait gained, so no anti-Slaaneshi, anti-Steelies trait from that. A bit annoying if that's in fact the case. Specimens +2. Oh, once again they have Grail Knights and Grail Guardians. It's still very iffy as to whether we can kill them. They're insanely strong in SFO. And they could certainly run through our ranks. I'm a little bit tempted by the fight. Obviously the peasants are of no issue whatsoever, but the Grail Knights and Grail Guardians are so dang strong, and they have regeneration on top of it. Once again, I really wish that the caravans would show you how many turns they had left, because that would inform us as to whether we want to, whether we can risk severe damage to the army right now or not. We do have magical damage, though. Do we just do it? And if we suffer insane amounts of damage, just say screw it? Maybe we do. Alright, fine, screw it. Why not? Let's give it a try. Valiant defeat, casualties high, and if we die, we die. The Grail Guardians are unbreakable, but the Grail Knights, the regular Grail Knights, are not. Oh, there's also the Battle Pilgrims that are unbreakable. And the 2 Paladins are going to be annoying, but then we can at least, by and large, ignore. Alright, let's give it a try. This is a terrible idea, but, fun and all. Alright, here we go. We denied ourselves oh, I like that the skink expedition chief has like a I don't know, like a skeleton paint. That's pretty cool. Anyway, and October is over, but anyway, what was I saying? Yes, we denied ourselves the pleasure of facing off against Grail Knights, Grail Guardians, and 2 Paladins the last time we encountered this composition, but no more. Win or lose, we gotta give these guys a nice fight. Now, if the roles were reversed, I would absolutely pick the Bretonnian side, because, frankly, if used correctly, the 2 units of Grail blanks would just obliterate most of our units. Now that said, we're going to have to wait and see whether the AI can put them to good use. Now the strategy here is pretty simple. We're going to try to peel away the Grail Knights as best we can and try to isolate them so that we can do damage. The Grail Guardians seem to be hanging back, and that's just fine, at least for now. A couple nice volleys into the Grail Knights, not a lot of damage at only 10%, but we're going to have to devote an absolute insane amount of resources to even hoping to hurt these frickin' units. And keeping in mind that they'll regenerate as well. Alright, looks like they're going to charge our Ancient Salamander, but we can't have that, so we're going to use them to pass, or use the Salamander to pass through the Yamaburo and hopefully allow them to pin the Grail Guardians in place, or Grail Knights in place. The plan here is to lead both Guardians and Knights into the trees, where they will fight at a disadvantage, and where our 2 units of spear-wielding Saurus are waiting to pin them in place. The summoned Riperdactyls come down to prevent the Grail Guardians from escaping, and we get our Saurus spears to surround the Grail Guardians. They're already racking up kills, but that's alright. The Grail Guardian, the Grail Knights in the meantime, the non-unbreakable ones, are the ones that suffered the most of our attentions and are down to 10% of their HP and are booking it on out of there. We are going to make sure that they can't escape. If you've been wondering where our units of Chameleon Stalkers are, they were waiting to hit all of the peasants in the rear and have appeared, and are now going to go after the enemy range, well, frankly, all the peasants. Now, lovely. We do still have 2 paladins to deal with, but we will pin them in place with the Expedition Chief as well as with the Yamaburo. Keep in mind the Yamaburo do have a fair bit of damage, and lots of it is armor piercing at that, which helped quite a lot at actually dishing out damage to those Grail Knights. And by the looks of it, is helping a fair bit in dishing out damage to the extremely tanky Paladins as well, both of which are now down to half HP. The Grail Guardians still pinned in place perhaps, but are down to half of their HP as our trap worked pretty darn well. Our units of Chameleon Stalkers have closed with the peasant ranks and have obliterated the first of the enemy units of Bowmen, and have surrounded and are in the process of killing the enemy Prophetess as well. And they are now closing the distance with the enemy men-at-arms, but again, the peasant elements, with the exception of the battle pilgrims, are not that much of a threat here. And speaking of the battle pilgrims, we've been focusing them down with the ancient salamanders, which have worked quite well to do so. The first of the enemy paladins has either fallen or booked it on out of there, and 1 remains, as the Yamaburo continue dishing out their armor-piercing damage to it, and distracting it and allowing the Skink Chief, the Expedition Chief, to do that extra bit of damage, and preventing the Paladin from distracting the Ancient Salamanders as well. It looks like the Peasants and the Prophetess are broken, and only the Grail Guardians remain, still locked in their trap, with the remnants of the Battle Pilgrims that foolishly, bravely followed them into the jungle canopy, or beneath the jungle canopy. And unbreakable or not, these guys will get surrounded and destroyed, stuck on the Saurus spears and beneath the trees. And of course taking hits from the Skink Chief hovering overhead. Poison is probably helping out as well. They're down to 20% of the HP, and only a matter of time. And here come a few extra units to add their damage to the fray. The Saurus Spears did take a fair bit of damage while fighting, under Grail Banishment the entire time, of course. But it all worked out. With that, the last of the Grail Guardians falls, and funnily enough, a few of the... Oh, actually, no, there are a couple more on this side. There we go, completely overrun. I bet Alberic de Bordelot has experienced a lot of this, sending their cat into the jungle like this on Lustria, and it still remains to be seen as to whether we let him live once we head on over to Lustria ourselves. There we go. With that, the last of the Grail Guardians and Battle Pilgrims falls, and the battle is ours. Fantastic fight. And hey, one of those fights where you actually have to think about how you pull off the victory. Alrighty, there we go. I gotta give the MVP to the Yamaburo. They may not have done a crazy amount of direct damage, as we can see 6,700 is lower, for example, than the Ancient Salamander, but the gold value is higher as they spent the time pinning the Grail Knights in place and not getting obliterated by them. Admittedly, they did lose half their number, but definitely worth it between dealing with the Grail Knights and the Paladins as well. While the Grail Guardians, we were able to lead into the forest, wherein the Saurus Spears kept them pinned in place and thus useless. Very nice. I gotta say. Once again, 7% healing isn't much, and I'm just gonna hope that we are close to the end of this expedition. Although I feel like we're not, but whatever. Release captives. Ooh, and I do imagine we leveled up off of that, though. We have... Where are we here? Ally mobilizes. Ally mission successful. Good for ally. Hibernation attendant. Hello. Who are you? King Priest of Heavens. Yeah, you can hold on to that, I guess. Oh, we do want... Ezozyme is a horned one. Good for Ezozyme. And another hibernation attendant for Ezozyme. Good. Mystery meat for... Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Oh, it's only specifically for Quetgar. Oh, actually, that's kind of annoying. But anyway, not the biggest of deals, annoying or not. I would like to see... You know, I got another Skymaster. You know what? I think it's time for some tech thievery. Let's get this lucky one. On field, you're going to move to Demon Gate, and you're going to start, well, thieving that tech. You, unfortunately, have to heal up. You can't move anymore. And here, your healing is pretty negligible. Might even have to return to our own territory in order to make use of that. Well, Tic-Tac, you're free to kill off this. I'd love to leech XP, but I fear that you'll die. Well, you know, let's give it a try. Let's see if anybody dies. See what happens. And will that kill off anybody? By the looks of it, it won't. Auto-resolve. Don't screw us on this game. And 13 units lost, but ultimately nothing too critical. We are going to Ritual Purification. I wonder, are you guys? Not quite rank 4 yet, but eventually. And another Hibernation Attendant. Oh, I didn't even realize that Tic-Tac didn't have one. Speaking of... actually, we can reach this in 2 turns, but would we still be able to in camp? I don't know. I guess we'll risk it. I really wish you weren't so damaged, but what can you do? Can we heal here? Yeah, not really. Yeah, you're basically unable to heal at all. Alright, fine, fair enough. Then we'll put you into an encamp stance. We'll bring you close to the edge of this. We'll send you... Oh, actually, if we could have you land here right beside Tic-Tac. Oh, you can only land all the way out there? That doesn't really help. I mean, I guess you could land here and then catch up to him. But then you'll suffer attrition for doing so. Kind of iffy. Well, you know what? Either way, we'll have Chameleon land. Hopefully he doesn't get immediately killed. At least this will keep an eye on whether there are enemies out here. Like so. And I guess we'll land at Volulltrax next turn and hope that there isn't another army nearby. You obviously can't kill this army, and then Ezozyme's going to have to go... You know what? Actually, I just realized if we're going to trade... Well, I guess we could trade the units to this army, and then, yeah, alright, it'll be fine. Nobody panic. At least the Slaanesh corruption is going down. There is that, at least. You can build the gem mine, and otherwise get the heck out of here. Go to Nahuantl, just pass through it and move on to the Statues of the Gods, wherein we will build the Tier 4 upgrade. There we go. Alrighty, and then you will upgrade one of these next turn, probably the one with the port. That makes more sense. Anyway, building-wise, Western Jungles, we can ignore that as there is no need to deal with it. I'm tempted to say maybe we want to double up on Tech Thieves, so maybe send another one out this way. You have experience, you have bonus experience gain. Let's see, none of these really wow me in terms of their Tech Thief ability. Let's allow them to mill for 1 turn, and then we'll see. We are maxed out on Skink Chiefs now, though admittedly we do need more, but we need capacity, and frankly we're probably going to use this territory for capacities, since it's going to be a while until it's Tier 5. Yeah. And we can get a bunch of Skink Chief capacity here. Especially if we want to keep the place rather defended. Anyway, that's fine as it is for now then, and I guess that's another end turn. Oh, I wanted to check the expeditions. That is you. And where are you again? You're rank 6, so you are able to move through. Let's start with Passionate, because it'll give you a little bit of extra XP. And you've still got 3 turns. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have fought that. Well, let's just hope that the 3 turns... in the 3 turns, you will still survive. Diplo, Chevalier de Lyonesse will probably lose to Cetra, so we can ignore them. And I believe that's it. Alright. Skip the outpost, assuming these guys are not yet allied with the other lizards, because then they'd build their outpost at the Fortress of Dawn. But it looks like they're not doing it. And otherwise we're okay. Alright, end turn. At least the Slaaneshi are in pretty bad shape now. Admittedly, I didn't really care about these particular Slaaneshi. I'm much more worried about the Tzeentchins than the Slaaneshi, especially since the AI is generally just plain not very good at using Slaanesh. And because they're too fragile. But it's all good. Alrighty, and Volulltrax. We're about to hit you in a second. And what is this? Who the heck are you? Oh, you're the ones that we just defeated. You know, how much money would you give us for peace? 6,000 gold? Yeah, why not? Whatever. They'll probably die to attrition anyway. And what do we have here? Feeding time. Upon a stone balcony overlooking a cavern strewn with bones, the expedition marvels at an immense golden gong. The mechanism to swing a capped ram to strike the gong has been damaged. It can be repaired, however the team would need to repurpose some of its own gear and treasure. Sound the gong whilst fighting within the site. An ally may appear to reinforce you in battle. Sure, why not? That'll help us if we need to fight again. Anyway, Tic-Tac, you should now be able to reach Volulltrax, which I take it we won't be able to auto-resolve because they'll steal our unit. Which is of some annoyance, but what can you do? Go there. Like so. Oh, they're not actually stealing it. And I guess we'll just auto-resolve it. Oh, actually, wait, I changed my mind. We would like to get these guys in here. Land, please. And then we will transfer you. We will lose the 3 Kulkan and the 1 Skink Skirmisher. We'll pop you into Tiktaq'to's army. Like so, and then you, Chameleon, the 2nd Skink Chief, are going to be on foot. Just because we need somebody to be, you know, on the ground in this particular army. There we go. Alright, now we can auto-resolve it. Really hope that these guys level, but we'll transfer them to the other army either way. Auto-resolve, don't be horrifically damaged. Now we're okay. Alrighty, and then occupy. Alright, a gold sigil sword, not great, but something. And we'll immediately upgrade the Lizardmen Plaza while we're here, while you... We want to head you back to sea. I mean, in theory, we want these guys to meet up, but... Also, you guys are still not willing to peace out? Wow, they have 6 more territories, good lord. Yeah, the main issue with that, or a big issue with that, is that we're getting further and further away from the Flaming Scribes here. It looks like they are probably... Oh, strength rank 49 is not so bad. They're probably in that fight with the Ghosts of Pawash. It's still concerning, though. They are recruiting, though, so they could be heading our way. Also, you're probably paying extra for the Pterodon, so let's not. There you go. And we'll probably need another one of these, so let's give it a check. Ugh, of course we got another Enlightened one, but of the wrong kind. Though, admittedly, our 2nd army could probably use this guy. With the Greater Magic Bond. Yeah, fine, alright, fine. We'll put you into Ezozyme's army, and... Oh, maybe we'll get you at Volulltrax then, because then we can move you out to intercept. You should go to sea then. I assume you guys are capable of taking this. Please do it before these guys build something up. But anyway, since you can't really heal here, you will head out to sea. And I assume that this army won't attack you by itself. You can head out to sea as well. And we just need to land an allied territory, and then that'll be good. In fact, maybe both of you land a Tor Serpendar. Oh, or will it be 2 Chaos Corrupted by then? Well, either way, I'd like you to travel together, because you're going to be, you know, we're going to be transferring the troops to you. And well, who is this? Oh, right, the one that we just summoned. I'm stupid. Alright, Harry's finest, please. Then we got Skink Commander, potentially, once we get additional capacities. And then these guys will be replaced by other flying units. Admittedly, I wanted to get those, that one unit of whatever they were called that we got recently. Here, Hayaras. I need to remove some of these guys, but we'll need to transfer them to another army. At least Tic-Tac will have gotten them to pretty darn high ranks by then, so that's good. Anyway, building. I believe we're here with Quetgar, so Quetgar will build Nahuantl first. Looks expensive, but all good. And then you're gonna move here. And we'll upgrade the... Minus 19% construction cost, pretty solid now. Ooh, expensive to upgrade the temple, but that is what it is. And then this will be 5.5k down from like 7.5k, so it's solid. You know what? Hey, these guys can go now. They're not needed here anymore, and they were being pretty expensive. Do you... Oh, you don't have Aspiring Presence. Inspiring Presence. That's unfortunate. Why is it unfortunate? Just because it gives additional XP per turn. Oh well. Herring Scrutiny gives us +3 control for now. Since we're using you to sort of help build up, we'll keep you on that for a little bit. Caverns of Sotek is still nothing, so we're just going to keep ignoring you. Alrighty. I just gotta get our econ to the point where we can send a second army out. Tic-Tacs actually remains at the exact same price despite the fact that we've added expensive units, because obviously they're flyers and thus in Tic-Tac's army, Tic-Tac's army rather, not as expensive. Diplomatic relations with Lizardmen. Let's go for the Master's Scout just for the additional movement range first. Alright, and then the Skink Priest, I'm still tempted to replace you and thus send you out to be a Tech Thief, so we'll keep your points as they are for now. You can be Tech Thief though. We'll need several after all. And we'll keep an eye on these ones. Again, the Skymaster kind of makes sense, but at the same time it kind of is terrible. End turn. I think that was everything. I didn't check Diplo this turn, but we'll do it next turn. Let's see if we get a nice dilemma here as we head to the Skull Carver's abode. We should also periodically do Tzeentch checks, as in check that we haven't identified another Tzeentchian faction, as obviously, you know, always an issue. Maybe we can pop a few more names into Tic-Tac's army while we're at it. At least of those units that we know that we're keeping. Intervene against no enemies? Just a free Skink Chief? Sure. Why not? We'll take a free Skink Chief. Trespassers is sewer, where... Oh, that's from that. Yeah, alright. What was I gonna do here? Riptide, Cloud of Teeth, Tic-Tac-Go, Ancient Ripperdactyl. Okay, let's name one of you guys. You can be... Crazies? Crazes? I'm gonna say Crazes. Like this. And Coatl, you can be Shock and Awe. Like so, Raptor Crew, Blessed Pterodon Riders, you can be named as well. Let's go with Sky Hunters. And... I mean, we're keeping... Yeah, we're keeping this. You can be... well, Rocks Fall. There we go. Alright, you. Tic-Tac, you can now go to Skull Carver's abode, and in fact, you can reach it. Isn't that lovely? Whereas you are going to move towards these armies. Oh, I should have probably gone for that with Tic-Tac, but it's too late now. This needs to be auto-resolved because it's terrible, and we'll occupy it, which completes the province. Isn't it lovely? And this province having public order issues, we're probably going to have to go into the public order thing, especially since these are going to take a long time to build anyway. Public order it is. We could actually do growth as well, but this is... yeah, control. Alright. Lovely. And, oh wait. The construction reduction one also gives us a little bit of research rate. It's not a lot, but that is nice to have. This guy's still not willing to peace out. Alright, I guess we're just gonna have to keep annoying them. Tic-Tac until they give up. Would you please? I think maybe they think they can't win. Which admittedly is a distinct possibility. But we can't heal here. We have to go all the way around to you attack, which is kind of annoying. Alright, fine. You go here. You go follow them. You go here. I think these guys are probably going to be able to be leveled up to riders soon. And we will put the aquatic units in Ezozyme's army. And go here. And Ezozyme will actually eventually split off into two different armies. I got an idea about what we're doing there. Anyway, Tech Thief, go steal from Demon's Gate. Hey, not a failure on your first move. Thank you to Mastery of Ripperdactyls. Oh, you know what? We're at 100 alignments again, so let's pop off that Mastery of Ripperdactyls. I mean, yeah, we could wait until... Yeah, but I... Do we want to wait? I probably don't want to wait. Because we keep fighting and then getting alignments and they're going to waste, and I don't like that. Alright, Skink. Another lucky one. Doesn't really help us, though. Alright, just keep an eye on them. And no new level for Tic-Tac, but that's alright. Alright, I believe we are mostly good to go, minus Quetgar, who is going to be building up that tier 4. Beautiful. And I guess we're keeping in alignment of monuments just for the construction, or not for the construction cost reduction, but for the research rate. Need every little bit we can get right now. Alright, fair enough. We're good here. Zlatlan, you're the next one, so you can't reach it in one turn, but you can reach it next turn, so we can wait. Might as well, because we gotta upgrade U-Attack as well, finally. And frankly, probably get rid of the spawn pools of the Braves, because we've got other stuff that we could potentially build there. Yes, alright. Diplo, I didn't check it last turn, but I can certainly do it this turn. Nothing. Camry, willing to trade now. Strength rank 2, good lord. Well, Cetra's doing good. If I get, you know, if I get a hankering for a foe, we could fight him. Oh! Itza's willing to confederate. I mean, it's a lot of landmarks there. It feels a little bit weird to confederate Gor-Rok, but I mean, Gor-Rok, yes. I mean, confederating Mazdamundi from a loreful perspective would kind of make no sense. Gor-Rok, on the other hand, maybe. I mean, Tiktaq'to being a tactician, maybe being offered command of Gor-Rok stuff. Maybe. We're just going to have to do it. All right. I'm a little bit wary of opening up so many sort of battlefronts with these guys, but, you know, you got to do what you got to do. I'm also very wary of the horrific public order. Wait. Yeah, this is going to be a big public order hit. Wait, did the minus 14? Yeah, it's not going to be great. Another minus 8. Yeah, minus 16 from climate. We're really going to need public order buildings here. Almost oh, wait, we can't build them at tier 1 anyway. All right, well, gotta do what you gotta do. We may not get another opportunity to grab Itza, so let's grab Itza. And I see Skulltaker is nearby with nearly a full stack. There's no way that he takes Itza itself, however, so that should be okay. Let's immediately get the trade agreement and other agreements going with Tehanawan. He's not going to like the Confederation thing, but, you know, let's be friends. What else do we get? What the heck? Oh. Huh? Okay, there it goes. That was weird. Bordello Errant. Deserters of Katep are currently at war with the cult of Sotek. You know what? I think we'll ignore them for now. They're gonna eventually not like us for the alliances. Sun Eaters we don't really care about. Bordello Errant are... You know what? We're gonna ignore them for now. I don't mind potentially allying with the Bretonnians, but there are a bunch of things in the in Lustria that we may want. As in a bunch of landmarks. And if they're occupying one, like here, we may want to kill them because of it. Sorry, Bordello Errant. Austria has ours, after all. Now, I take it that Krogar's wounded? Gor-Rok, rather, was wounded for 3 turns. The AI probably screwed him up as well. So, oh, frickin' lizards. Or frickin' rats. Not much we can do about that, though. Oishul can defend itself. I think we're not upgrading you. What do we have here? Yeah, Skaven Corruption arising. Itza itself will go into construction reduction immediately. Alignment of monuments. We have a stonemaker here. In Quetzal. Ashlotl is gonna need defenses, but we can't do it there. Shalanvapek can defend itself, at least for now. Keep hold of the Beast Layer. Maybe get rid of the Pterodon hatchery. It's a little bit far and the Skulltaker could go after it. Yeah, fine. Get rid of the Pterodon hatchery. It's a tier 4 settlement. Landmarks at Itza, tier 4 and tier 5. Okay, fair enough. And we can upgrade the gold mine and stuff, but we'll do it next turn. Once we have the reductions. And what do we have here? We have a Skink Chief with Primal Strength, which isn't too bad, and another Skink Chief with Assassin. Both together not bad. I guess we can potentially put them in armies. You, as Latota, have a bunch of... and another Skink Chief. Primal Vigor. Recovery for heroes, as I recall, not super useful, but for now we may as well use you. For something. What I'm tempted to do is get the 4th gen up and running. Though they are expensive. What do you have? Scaled Leader. Speed plus 20% for Lord's Army. Kind of interesting. I will think about it. What am I thinking about? Whether we keep this guy. And, oh, did you not? Okay, no, yeah, we gotta get those grazing pastures up and running. Alright, well, I believe we only have the one province to do the commandments. All the other provinces are unfortunately incomplete, but it is what it is. We're also surrounded by rats who are likely to declare war on us, but are unlikely to be able to easily take Oishul away from us. What do we have here? Plus 20% post-battle loot. Oh, that's pretty solid. That's a really solid one. Okay, we gotta prioritize that, I think. Also, Itza makes solid amounts of cash. I assume it's a special location. Army ability, Geomantic Nexus. Alright. Considering how expensive it'll be to make stuff here, mods, it might behoove us to delete Quetgar here, or reset him, and then send him out here to help in terms of construction. We're actually pretty good here in the southern jungles. Because we're allied with Cetra, who's a major world power, the second most powerful faction on the map, and we got allies and we got allies, so we're pretty good. I wasn't really expecting this Confederation, but I'm reasonably happy about it. Horns of the Living Pools, we can ignore the Defensive Alliance. They're at war with 1,000 Maws and the Awakened. Yeah, we can ignore that for now. Alright, skip. Let's see if the rats or whoever declares war on us this turn. It's a distinct possibility. End turn. Alright, let's see. Alright, Lord, yeah, while we were expecting that, we're probably going to lose at least a couple of territories. Do we bother asking the elves for help? They might say no, and yeah, I'm just going to say no, don't bother. We'll definitely need to build a proper army there, and Luther Harkin will immediately declare war on us. Yeah, well, we expect to lose some territory, and Ashlotl will be the first to fall. Yeah, no, there's no way. Like, we could cheese it, but I don't wanna. Because I don't like doing that sort of thing. It's alright. I guess this is a good time to make use of some of those special units that we've got from the expeditions, then. Why not? Alright, Hellkeek, who are you? Another war declaration? Fair enough. Well, things just got interesting. Oh. And... wait, what the heck? Whoa. Did I just see a bunch of Cultus Sotek in the islands in the middle of the sea? Wait a moment. Game, please. Ah, Culkin Riders. What do we have here? Oh, more Wood Elves. Another War Dancers unit, Glade Riders, 2 more Wild Riders. We are still fairly damaged. Especially on the Yamaboro. And the Wild Riders do concern me. But it's Freight Culkin Riders. And it's, how often will we fight Wood Elves? Who knows? Intervene. Always intervene. These are really fun. Oh, let's go. Alrighty, here we go. Man, I know I've said it before, but man, am I loving the variety that we're getting in terms of foes in this particular campaign. I mean, we fought, who did we fight this? In this episode, we fought Slaanesh, we fought Bretonnian, now we're fighting Wood Elves as well. Just so many different types of opponents. Now, this is the same map that we fought the Bretonnians on, but we don't actually want to fight it in the same way that we did there. We trapped the Bretonnians in the trees, but we don't want the AI or the Wood Elves to be taking advantage of the trees. So, we won't let them, other than the one unit of Wild Riders, which we use most of our resources to obliterate very quickly, but that does mean that the other one is left to still fight. Fortunately, our Saurus Spears were ready and waiting to meet said Wild Riders and pin them in place while we reposition to take care of them. Alright, looking pretty good. Now we have deployed 2 units of our Chameleon Stalkers and the Culkin Riders, similar to the Bretonnian fight behind the enemy army, and are ready to hopefully crash into the enemy backlines, though our units of, or previously, our units of Ancient Salamanders were doing plenty of good damage to them. For now, though, it looks like the Ancient Salamanders are being chased down by the Azurai War Dancers, or War Dancers with Azurai Spears, and we're going to have to back the Salamanders off, which is fine. The Ancient Salamanders are rather quick and can sort of outrun the War Dancers, while we slowly but surely pincushion them. Now, if you remember that ally summoning ability that we had, the ally summoning gives us the Pale Death, a Regiment of Renown, which is kind of interesting. And it certainly helped us obliterate the Wild Riders, the second unit of Wild Riders, quite well. There we go. All those projectiles mean that unit is not coming back. The units that we had deployed on the Vanguard deployed, rather, have rear-charged the enemy now and have taken care, or at least engaged in combat with the rest of the enemy range units. And now, hopefully, the combination of Kulkan Riders and the Chameleon Stalkers should be able to cut down those Glade Guard. Glade Guard rather weak in melee, admittedly, but they have fairly high melee attack, so they can still do damage to our relatively fragile units in this particular fight. There is an annoying unit still in the fight, the enemy unit of Treemen, which are one of the... I was going to say one of the tankiest, well, tankiest monstrous infantry, certainly, in the game. They're extremely tanky. Fortunately for us, and unfortunately for them, once again, the Yamaburo have that lovely high armor-piercing damage, and that means we use them to rock, paper, scissors counter the units of Treekin. Similarly, the Glade Riders are fairly quick, but it looks like not quick enough to escape the Kulkan Riders, which close the distance and apply their their anti-large bonus. Oh, they have small bonuses to anti-large and anti-infantry. Interesting. Not big bonuses, but certainly enough to carry the day against a light cav unit, who the Riders absolutely obliterate, and with that, it looks like the battle is ours. The rock, paper, scissors definitely worked in our way. The super dangerous units of Wild Riders were cleared out with most of our resources, then our Salamanders obliterated the enemy range. The Pale Death Summon helped out quite a bit, and just overall, the battle went very much in our favor. Close victory perhaps, but definitely worth fighting. Alright, there we go. Definitely worth fighting, and just generally speaking, another solid fight. We can heal up, but we should be pretty close to the completion of the expedition now, so let's take the money yet again. And also, admittedly, we do need the money, especially since we're going to be needing to defend a lot of territory here. Now, some had lost, a Schlodel, yeah, we'll get you back. We will want the defenses here at Schlanmopek, so let's go for the Mystic Barriers here. With them, it shouldn't fall. Man, Lizard Garrison's kind of weak without them. Seasoned Campaigner for the Convoy, which probably leveled up. We got, yeah, one level on, yeah. Let's go for, I guess, Meticulous, and then into Trusted afterwards. And then immediately after that will be, oh. We'll have to save 2 points for both Animal Wrangler and Pathweaver, so just gotta try to remember that. And then the other guy, you have also leveled up, and you have these, so you're free to start moving through Skirmisher. I don't really care about Subtle. Chance of ambush success during intervention battles. Although the ambush success chance would probably make it easier to do things like that. Yeah, fine. Maybe we'll get at least 1 point of that. Chance of caravan intercept battle being an ambush minus 50%, as in probably the enemy's ambushing us. Although that hasn't actually happened a single time, so I'm not entirely sure whether that's actually a possibility or not. Kinda not clear there. And ooh, that public order loss. That's not gonna be great, but what can you do? You, Quetkar, you're gonna proceed to Zlatlan and then build whatever it is that we're building there. In a mo, like so. And there we go. Let's go for the Gem Cutter's Workshop and the upgrade to the Holy Ziggurat, and then next turn, right back the way you came to Tlaqua, where we're looking to hit that tier 4 and build our first Geomantic Web building. How have you not taken this? What is Teclis doing? Huh, I wonder if he can't, you know what, maybe he can't go over here, or he feels like he can't go over here because of the Caverns of Sotek. Let's just trade it to him. You know what? I don't think I want a military alliance with him right now, so he can have this, and then just hopefully he can move over here. Yeah, just do it, whatever. Alright. I don't think that's the case, but, you know, you never know. The AI is kind of, you know, crazy sometimes, all the time. Anyway, Occam's Forever Maze is our next stop for Mr. Tic-Tac. Looks like these guys aren't on the way yet, so we are free to, well, keep stealing tech from them. Hey, and succeeding at that. Well done. Specialist for you, sir. Hopefully we get some kind of ancillary that will help us with that. And yeah, Fate Weaver's Crevasse will fall pretty much immediately if we let it. Yeah, you guys, I would like you... Oh, freaking Chaos Corruption. Yeah, we're gonna have to land here. It's kind of annoying, but best way that we could do this. And then you're gonna follow these guys. Bizarre though it may be, and you're gonna go... Oh, can you actually land? Actually, wait, it doesn't even matter that you do. You were going to be our recruiter, Lord. I guess we could have you sort of follow Izozama around. Oh, wow, you're still barely healing. Why are you barely healing here? It's green territory. Well, whatever, we'll have to encamp or pop you into a settlement. Then move down here, grab Dawn's Light if these guys are unwilling, grab the Remnants of Battle, and then book it on towards Fate Weaver's Crevasse. That's the plan, anyway. Who is this? Oh, that's these guys. Alright, well, we'll deal with these guys next time, and by next time, I guess I mean next episode, as we're pretty much out of time here. Let's go for that gold smelter, though, and the skink barrios. And we should be able to get Krogarasaurus Force soon, or quickly, so we'll probably want to upgrade the Saurus Spears here for now. It's a little bit expensive, but, you know. You're able to reach Quetzal immediately, so we're going to have to attempt to defend it. I would prefer not to lose it because of the rather nice landmark there, and Itza can defend itself against most stuff. You guys are gonna move... Can you actually go into this army? You both have decent traits, and oh, because yeah, they don't get their pterodons like our own ones do they? They don't get to start with them, that is. Which, you know, fair enough. Alright, and we'll probably pop a few extra units in here to help out. Frankly, this is kind of meh. Do we have... Yeah, we do have the Legion of Tlaqua, which I guess we could get Gor-Rok. They're expensive as well, but, you know, gotta do something. Like so. And the rats have also declared war on us, though... I mean, with 2 stacks, I can certainly threaten Oishel. We don't have enough units to sit up on the walls, which is kind of a problem. Oh, wow, minus 25. You know what? Let's uncollect the income here. It's a horrific public order loss there. Yeah, well, we'll deal with the rest of that next time, I believe. Oh, wait, you know what? Maybe we can uncollect the income here. It's not a lot of income, and it's just kind of not worth it with the... public order being horrendous. Mostly just keep the money flowing into Itza, as it will actually generate a decent amount of cash. And then at Quetzal, I guess we should get rid of the Stonemaker here. You know what? Maybe eventually. I don't want to lose the Saurus Warriors with shields right now. We'll figure that out afterwards. Anyway, next time we keep moving through the Slaaneshi territories. Since they don't want to peace out, we've no real choice in the matter. I didn't really want the Chaos territories here, but again, what can you do? Oh, this place is gonna rebel, isn't it? There isn't really anything we can do about it, and it's not gonna heal up either. That's with the bonus control. Might actually have to put Tic-Tac back in the Skull Carvers, but I will figure that out next time, so stay tuned for it, as well as whatever else we get up to, and whatever other expeditions we get up to as well. And I think, yeah, we'll at least grab the Archaeopteryx in this particular army. 1, 2, 3, 4, because we need them. There we go. And then these were earmarked specifically for another army, so probably not putting them here, but we'll figure that out along with the other things. All glory to the algorithm. Likes and comments below. Thanks for watching.